go on to Saturday now. Obviously, the big one on the day is the Grand National. I think we'll probably go through it in time order, though, just to keep things nice and tidy. But we'll go the first way to talk about the Mersey Novice Hurdle there. Grade 1 event. I think Supreme Novice Hurdle winner Slade Steele is in here. Look, we've no declarations yet, so a little bit guessy, but I don't think he's an intended runner. I'd say he might be going to Punchestown instead. The big money purchase, Caldwell Potter. I think this has been kind of the plan with him for Paul Nichols and Harry Compton. I thought a really interesting one, then brighter days ahead for Gordon Elliott. And I think he said during the week that he's planning to centre here. Obviously things didn't really go her way in Cheltenham, but he's opting to take on the boys here, stepping off on trip. I think she could be fairly interesting there. I think you were a fan of her ahead of Cheltenham, Mark, were you?
Yeah, I've always been a big brighter days ahead fan, and it was hard to view it at Cheltenham in the Mayor's Novice. It just didn't unfold for as you'd like. And as I mentioned, we were previously talking about Golden Aces and Dicerdinas. The shape of the race turned so tactical. I take encouragement that Jade DeGrugy goes and wins at Fairyhouse and beats, a big size field in good style of a short turnaround. But I don't think brighter days ahead is a super price. That's the only thing. Now, maybe I wasn't aware of what you're saying with Slade Steele. He mightn't go. I hadn't got any steer on that. But if you're correct, maybe it doesn't tighten be that price. That's probably factored in. But Caldwell Potter, it's funny, the money he went for, obviously huge. But you'd wonder if he had those horses, the Caldwell ones, they didn't get to run at the Dublin Racing Festival. If he had run at the Dublin Racing Festival, it would have been against Ballyburn and Slade Steele. If they were selling them a day after, I think he could have went for a little bit cheaper, possibly. It's just the way these things unfold. But he's obviously a smart horse, but I just don't know whether, he's classy, but I don't think he's in the class of those two horses I just mentioned. Two very, very, very good horses. But brighter days ahead. Really love her. Gonna give her another chance, but just I'd like to be rewarded with a bigger price before I go in behind her.
Yeah, for sure. I suppose how Gordon's been talking about her. She has to be very, very good. I say she could bounce back. We saw Jade DeGrugy bouncing back at Fairyhouse, and 2.5 miles be more of her game. Be interested to see the one in shocking bookings here as well. I think bit of Ricky Dickey. I think interesting enough, the shortest price of his few in here. Didn't go to Cheltenham, but was a runaway winner in Punchestown in Maiden Hurdle back in January. He has Asian Master, who was, I think, fourth in the Supreme, Il Atlantique, and Jimmy DeSoy both ran with the Gallaghers as well. So, two interesting ones in there. I kind of shadow your thoughts on Caldwell Potter. I don't think Predator's Gold really boosted the form too much either when he beat him back at Christmas at Leopardstown as well. Yeah. He kind of disappointed at Cheltenham. So, look, he's probably a watching brief for me. I think they bought him as maybe a horse for next season, but yeah. We'll see if money has been well spent. I wouldn't have a very strong fancy in here now myself. Maybe at Asian Master each way. I thought he had a nice race in the Supreme, and stepping up should suit him as well. So we'll go on to the next one we're talking about then, the 305, the grade 1 Liverpool Hurdle over the 3 miles. I think Tiupu in here looks a very, very good price at 11-4. No declarations yet, of course, but I think the plan is to go here with him. Irish Point, I'd imagine probably won't come here. Probably thoughts might be he might have been declared in the hard race on the Thursday, but I can't imagine they'll be facing off against each other. Last year's winner, Sire de Burley, reopposes here again. He actually was staying on quite well, I thought, in the stairs. He was probably never closer than when crossing the line, and he's in here around 7-2 as well. Mark, did you fancy in this one?
Yeah, I don't know. I was nearly taking the view that thinking how much freshness seems to be important to Tiupu. I was wondering would they wait till Punchestown instead. Now maybe that's not based on any information I've heard, but I was just reading between the lines. Possibly they could go that direction, but Irish Point, if he ran with that in mind, I'm nearly working on the base that we might see Tiupu here. If he does, there could be an angle to take him on just with the freshness angle they want to have with him 30 days on. Tough race. But if Irish Point, I'd love to see him here. Don't know whether we will. It's hard to put a strong shape on the race without knowing. Those two runners are going to shape the whole race really, because I think either of them will be good enough to win. But of the remainder, I thought Florin Porter, Everton has gone right for him in the stairs. If there was a losing ride of the week, I thought with Keith Donoghue on him in the stairs, an absolute peach, but it just didn't work. And I thought Sire de Burley, I saw a little flicker like you. I'd be called into the old folks' home and wheeling them out for Aintree again. Definitely there's still life in the old boy yet. He's in a good place, and he's an extreme spring horse. You know that. Won this last year. Just at the price at the moment, I think it's not something I typically do. I'm a typical 12-year-old horses to win grade 1, but I could see Sire de Burley running eyeballs out here. And Gordon is the one thing I thought coming away from the press morning. pre-Cheltenham this year with Gordon. He was at pains to kind of say how hard it is to get this horse fit. Like he seems to enjoy life, this boy, and I'd imagine another run, and I'm sure he was fit going to Cheltenham, another run in the spring, and he obviously hasn't got maybe the weather to help that turn. It's been so wet lately, but I could see the best version of Sire de Burley turning up here, and Florian Porter, just if Everton went right, he didn't quite get there the last day. So I'd nearly take a stab at Sire de Burley, but the Rob Court horses are the key shape of the race. I'm nearly working to this, they're not there.
Yeah, for sure. I suppose I didn't actually think of that point. Maybe they're trying to freshen up Tupu for Punchestown. I suppose kind of waiting to see would he be declared tomorrow would be the question. Look, if he shows up, I'd imagine Gordon thinks he's in the form to win it. So I find him very hard to oppose them. But that's probably been factored into this early price of 11-4. I'd imagine he'd be much shorter if he is declared for this one. But like you said, Sire de Burley, I think Gordon, good quote, remember he gave about earlier in the year, he needs stones. And he said, so I'd say, yeah, he definitely enjoys his life and he's hard to get fit. I think they have to swim him a couple of times a day as well to get it off him. So probably just speaking, I'd say Body 1 as well could be an interesting one if he heads up for the Gilligans 14-1 there. I thought he ran very well at Cheltenham. At a big price in the Stairs hurdle as well. It was good training performance there as well, coming back from pulling up at Leopardstown earlier on in the year. So no reason why he shouldn't approve for that one either. He's still only a 7-year-old, and that experience in the kind of top division of that staying hurdling ranks should stand him well. So Buddy would maybe an each way contender there for me if Tupu does not show up. But we'll go on to the big one now, I suppose. The Grand National, the 4 o'clock. Look, I don't know where you even start with this one. I suppose Corey Crambler, last year's winner, a deserved favourite, I'd imagine, but he is carrying 13 pounds more than last year. Do you think he will be able to defy that rise in the weight? Look, he's a quirky horse, I suppose, but it's a fair bit higher than last year.
Yeah, look at Corey Crambler. I thought he's got in on a reasonable mark, like for a national winner. Like you look back at the fair margin of what he won by last year, 2 1/4 lengths. I don't think that's at all representative of his authority over the field. He won in the style of a horse that had plenty more. He just doesn't do a whole pile when he gets to the front, this guy. But I think the race at Cheltenham last time, I thought it was a gut buster. I didn't think he hit the line. I know you could look at it through a positive to say, yes, he belongs at that level. He could be better than a Marco 159 in a national. But for me, I watched him and I went, oh, that last 100 yards it is taking it out of him. And it wasn't an ideal prep in my eyes for it. Maybe I've proved wrong. These Frown connections that absolutely know what they're doing when it comes to this race. But I'd be willing to I think I'll take a swing elsewhere, Emma. And with the ground the way it is, I was probably the most disappointed man at Cheltenham because Delta worked with my nap in the weekend across country, so that was called off. In a way, it was pressure off for all these previews because you're absolved of it. Anyway. But I do think he's the great way the ground has been. I'd be really encouraged. He was travelling well last year when he came down. You can see it the one before Beechers, and he was third year before to nobody hits and any second now. Like when you look at it and you see what those two horses have been able to do and what their peak form is, it was a fair run, and that was on ground that was quicker than he wants. If it was to stay wet, I think Delta Work is a cracking each way chance. And Gordon, he's been particularly positive in the stable tour I read this week and at the races. He was pretty sweet in his chances. His year has been geared around 2 days, Cheltenham and Aintree, and unfortunately, we can get to see one of them, but it'd be nice if he could run a big one there. That's the second alternative for him. But I have 2 other ones to throw at the board while I'm on him. Kitty's Light, I'm delighted to see him getting in down the bottom. Again, another horse this season has been geared around 1 day. He's a big stay and handicap specialist. He wins a Scottish National and a Bet365 Gold Cup 7 days apart of 140. 146 here. It is workable. I think if you watch back his races last season, I think it's within his capability. He would want it to dry slightly, so hence he's not my outright selection, but I've got so much time for Christian Williams. His stamina is guaranteed. This horse is neither a winner. Only 10 zone 7 likely when conflated doesn't go here. And the other one, kind of my long range fancy, the one if you said to me 3-4 months ago, was my national horse Panda Boy. Just not convinced that he wanted overly testing this. The only thing I thought that was what kind of caught him out in the Paddy Power behind Meeting of the Waters. But again, you're dealing with a master here, Martin Brazel, to train a horse to peak.
Yeah, I like Panda Boy myself as well. Like you said, Martin Brazel, I'm a dangerous man. He's targeting one kind of long term as well. Nicely weighted there, 10 stone 6. He was really good second in the Paddy Power Meeting of the Waters as well. I think 14-1. He quite looks a cracking each way bet. For JJ7, looking to the Irish and English national double, it would be some achievement. In fairness, I actually thought it was quite noteworthy. JP McManus bookings were confirmed yesterday for the national. I was a little bit surprised by Mark Walsh's choice. He goes with Limerick Lace, obviously won the Mayor's Chase at Cheltenham, got the better of Dino Blue that day under Keith Donoghue. Paul Townend sticks with I Am Maximus. Might be Willie Mullins getting his way there. I suppose he's a tricky horse to ride. I don't think Mark has ever actually rode him, and I suppose Paul was so good winning the Irish National Anthem last year as well. So that probably maybe picked itself. Danny Mullins is on Meeting of the Waters, and Keith Donoghue on Capodanno, Johnny McGarvey on Janet as well. So JP has 5 in there. Were you surprised that Mark would with Limerick Lace for Gavin Cromwell?
I kind of was, yeah, because Meeting of the Waters, like he'd be high up on my list as well. I mean, I didn't get the impression just reading Trainer Palman's pre-Ultimate. The Ultimate was absolute D-Day. I think it's all been built this day, and nobody else has beaten an Ultimate before coming on and winning a national. So yeah, I was a bit, maybe Mark. He obviously rode Meeting of the Waters at Cheltenham, didn't ride Limerick Lace. Maybe the feel of the two races. I just wonder stamina with Limerick Lace is a query, but obviously I know the way I think it has proved that he stays as a full brother to her. But yeah, I was slightly surprised then. I thought Meeting of the Waters was big chance.
Yeah, Meeting of the Waters is probably my pick of it, to be honest. Like you said, when a big race in the Ultimate, you have to set a little bit better, I suppose, to stay this kind of marathon trip. But like just going back to that Paddy Power one at Leopardstown, Brown was very tested in that day, and I thought he saw it out really well. It's kind of getting that experience now in big field handicap chases as well. Like I said, he'll have to settle better, but I suppose having Danny Mullins on board, he's not the first choice jockey, but he's definitely he'd be first choice for plenty of other stables, I suppose. So it's no disadvantage to Dorn at all. So I think Meeting of the Water is probably top of my list for that one. And Panda Boy, I agree with him as well. I think he's a great each way shout, but plenty of them didn't give the chance to. I thought Mr. Incredible was an interesting one as well. I think I backed him in it last year. It was going well for a long time before he came down, but I probably once bitten, twice shy with him now, and I've been bitten too many times. So I wouldn't be a shock to see him winning it now after the pressure of my money comes off his back either. But so national wrapped up. Hopefully one of us found the winner at least. We'll go on to the last race then of the day that we're going to have chat about anyway in Aintree. It's the 5 o'clock. I think it's the Nagle Novice Chase of the pronunciation I'll go with. Grade 1 chase over the 2 miles. No declarations yet, but found a 50 in here, second in the article for Gordon Elliott. Looks like a 6-4 early market leader in that one. Quick City Oss as well. Another one coming from the article. He was quite fancy on the day, but missed the start and disappointed after that. So Hercule de Soy was another really interesting entry there for Willie Mullins. Hasn't been seen since winning in Punchestown last October. Kind of maybe more of a summer chaser and probably starting his campaign at this time of the year rather than others who are coming to the end of theirs as well. But could be interesting here coming fresh as well. He's not a bad horse at all over this 2 mile trip. Mark, did you have a fancy in this one?
Yeah, which Hercule de Soy for me, I think I like the angle. Even this race, or knew I think won it a few years ago, and he might have started off kind of that summer trail. Gentleman to Me didn't go to Cheltenham either when he won this race. So I don't mind that road, and you'd be hoping the ground dries out for him is the one thing, because it'd be a big difference between soft ground here and soft ground that he would have met in the summer in Ireland. But you'd imagine this has been the sort of target being mine for him. I'm not sure he's absolutely out and out grade 1 class, but found a 50 is solid, and he worthy favourite, I would say, but it's not an insurmountable level to pass. So I think Hercule de Soy, the prices, that man again, Willie Mullins and JP, will be hoping it's a green and gold weekend for me and you, I think.
Yeah, for sure. I think if our tips all win, Willie Mullins will be well ahead at the end of the trainer's title right now. So we'll wrap it up there. I think I've been going on for long enough. Mark, thanks very much for all your contributions, and we'll wrap it up for the 3 days of Aintree, with your nap, your next best, and maybe an each way shout us up.
Okay, we'll keep it simple. We had one that me and you both agreed on, Mystical Power in the top novices hurdle on Friday. We'll go with that as the nap. If Nicky Henderson is still quiet for the next best, I'll go with Pick Dory in the Melling. And an each way horse, one that caught my eye when he fell at Cork over Easter. Charles Burns trained horse that runs on Friday in the 5:15. The conditional riders handicap hurdle, Maiden Street Prince. I thought 12 to 1 was a very big price about him. That was behind Sir Gerhard. And I'm not saying he would have beaten him, but he was travelling pretty well, came down 2 out. Philip Burns rides here. Obviously, a help to have a rider that knows his horse in a conditional race like this. And I think he's only £2 higher in Britain than is the case in Ireland. So, Maiden Street Prince, just wonder would this be one that has, he handles soft ground as well. Could be a plan possibly, and big chance for Charles Burns on Friday, each way.
Interesting one, yeah. Any Charles runners travelling over across the water, we're keeping an eye on as well. So my nap, I was with you, Mystical Power. I'll put Tiuku in there as well if he runs. Obviously a bit of a question mark over that at this stage as well, though. My next best, Pick Dory again. I think we're just copying each other's notes over the weekend or something. And my each way, I'm going to go with Panda Boy, I suppose, in the Grand National, and possibly Beauty of the Waters each way. He's only 8-1 now, but maybe if he was 10-1, then he'd be an each way shout as well. So we'll wrap it up there. Hopefully we found you a few winners. If you're going to have a bet over the 3 days of Aintree, make sure to gamble responsibly and make sure to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But thanks very much to Mark Boylan. Great contributions, Mark, and I'm sure you found plenty of winners for all the listeners.